All right, next day. We're no longer shivering me timbers or looking at tall ships. We're not going to set sail and leave the country and all that good stuff. We decided against it. So we are back in the shop, and I want to get this grain table off the combine, for one, to free up space in here. Two, we got to start getting the combine ready for corn because it's getting pretty close, guys. We are looking at 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks at the outlier before our corn is ready. I mean, it's drying down quick. Real excited to get in there and get some of that and see how it really is yielding. I mean, all the yield checks were coming up really good, so fingers crossed it'll be a really good year for us on corn. Soybeans, we're not far enough along yet to really make the determination. They look good, but beans are one of them things that are just really hard to tell how they're going to do until you're in the field cutting. So anyway, I want to get this off the combine, but before we do, there's a couple things I wanted to address from wheat harvest and just things that are generally wearing out. One is replacing these shims here. So these shims you see here, I'm not even sure if shim is really the right term for these that we're replacing. I already took one off and we're getting ready to replace it. But what they do is essentially where this cutter bar, all these teeth are on a bar that slides back and forth in here. And this helps keep the cutter bar from bouncing, because if it comes up too far, it will actually strike this. And these are guards, finger guards, to help protect the cutter bar, to keep anything from getting in there or coming up like a rock to come up, small rocks. If without these shims in here that are necked over that keep the cutter bar from raising up too high, what'll happen is the cutter bar will jump, it'll hit these all the way across that area, tear the teeth up, the sickle sections up, as well as tear the guards up. So it's important to stay up on these. We've already replaced this one, so you can see how much thicker the metal is here versus here. This one's obviously a little worn. Not pared, this one's going to stay where it is, but we've had the ones that we did take off. So you can see this one is extremely thin right there in the neck area. And this one was, well, completely gone. So we're going ahead and replacing those while we got the chance to do so. The head's easy to get to, relatively clean. So might as well do it before we drop it off. So I want to go ahead and finish putting those shims on. I got a case of sickle sections, or the teeth, because we do have some teeth that are damaged, that I want to go ahead and replace these while I got the time to do it. Like that one is nicked up pretty good. It might be getting replaced. Still has a decent cutting edge. I don't know, verdict's out on that one. We'll wait and see. But I want to go ahead, service what I can service, grease everything. I did buy some new fingers because we do have some of these reel fingers that are getting pretty bad off. Especially with the wheat being down, we had to put the head right down on the ground and run them fingers right on the ground. And yeah, you hit things and it snaps them off. It's just one of those wear items that need to be taken care of. But once we get that done, I got to take the floating head locks back off the header. So that way the head's back in float mode. We'll need that for when we do beans. And then it'll all be ready, hopefully. Hi, Sweet Pea.
Hi.
You look like you had fun. Yeah. What'd you do?
We just came back
From where?
from the pool.
Oh, I thought you were like a ballroom dance or something. Show everybody your missing teeth. No, she didn't eat any rocks. They just fell out, didn't they? The tooth fairy came?
One just fell out. Dad ripped the other one out.
I did. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Just freshen everything up and get it ready to put on the combine for when we do beans. And here is a sickle section that is obviously no bueno, needs to be replaced. And as I look along, I mean, there's quite a few nicks, and honestly, really most of these were in really good shape until we had that downed wheat. And if you remember, in that video I talked about the added cost of what the co-op did, tearing up equipment, having to run all that straw through the equipment, having to run the header down on the ground. This is a result of the added cost of all that downed wheat. Because we had to run the header right on the ground, there's all kinds of possibilities of hitting stones, hitting, you know, any kind of trash that might be in the field, sticks along the wood lines. All of that is adding to the wear and tear of the machine. So now we got to replace quite a few sickle sections. It's not hard, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining about doing it. It's just one of them things that we got to do kind of prematurely now because of it. But some of these are definitely wore down. Like if you look at this one versus this one, that one's wore down quite a bit. So things have escalated quickly. If you only have to replace, you know, a few, maybe up to 5 of these sickle sections, the teeth as they're called, you know, you can take the guards off and go through and do it. But 25 come in a box. I bought a whole box. And as I was going along, I started counting, and there are quite a few of these that need to be replaced. Quite a few of the teeth or sickle sections, especially the one on the ends. These end ones are real bad. So that's got to be replaced, as well as the one on the other end. And they're a special tooth. So I have to go back and buy some because I only have, see, this is like a double tooth. I only have the standard teeth. I don't have the doubles. So anyway, I said, you know what? It's really not hard at all to, all you do is you unbolt the end here and it slides right out. I just had to take a couple minor shields, protection shields off of the header up there, and it just pulls straight out. So in the long run, this is going to be faster. And honestly, there is a bow to this now. I see. If you look, it's not perfectly straight. But if you look, it's not perfectly straight. It's curving, and it really shouldn't be doing that. I mean, even if I pull back on it, it's not staying straight. So I've got to do some cost analysis. I got to find out, is it going to be cheaper to buy a whole nother box of sickle sections or just buy a whole new cutter bar that comes with the sickle sections on it? Or it can come as a kit and you just comes with everything all in one. So I'm going to look that up real quick and see what's going to be most cost effective. You might find that it's more cost effective to just get a whole cutter bar. So before we go any further on this project, I'm going to go ahead and look at that. Well, like a lot of farms, we went through some hard times and we've had to sell the tractor trailer that we use to haul our grain, and this is what we're using now. So 100 bushels at a time, we've got to run this back and forth to the mill. Hard times. It's hard times. No, actually a good friend of mine has let me borrow this. We've talked about it. It's actually the farmer that the first time I ever rode in a tractor was in his tractor. And we needed one of these to hold some leftover crop, so that way we could use it, blend it off, and use it for help use it for cover crop or next year's seed, whatever we so choose. We just didn't have a place to store it. So he had this sitting in a barn for many, many years, and it wasn't getting used for almost 2 decades. So he's letting me use it, and I've got to go through. I'm going to clean up all this old burlapping, because we're not going to fill probably to about here, really. We're not going to be nowhere near the rails. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. Now, I'm fortunate enough he's let me use it. The least I could do is clean it up and re-grease everything, get the running gear nice and straight on it. Where it's been sitting for a long time, the inside the hopper is pretty dirty and needs to be cleaned out. And I mean, there's something real filthy like right there. So yeah, we're gonna just hose it off. That's why I got it kind of backed in here. When I'm hosing it out, the water hopefully run out there in the field. Won't make too much of a mess in the driveway. But Cliff, if you're watching, thank you again. This was definitely a saving for us. And I don't know, we might get a bug up our rear end and paint it. Why not? Hit it! The whole world's waiting, son. Take your time. These people are watching me, so they got nothing better to do. Pull! Pull! There it is. Hallelujah. Because she is nasty. Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. That looks like your bath water.
Yeah.
What's up, little pygmy from Borneo?
Film me.
What'd you say, buddy? What? Can you say like, subscribe, share?
Like, subscribe, share.
Right between two dumpsters.
Yeah.
That's where I liked it.
Well, I think that's going to be a good place to stop the video. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget, we got our race to 1,000. We've got to win against PTP Gun. 1,000 subscribers, and then we're going to do our $1,000 value giveaway, where you're going to get free concealed carry training through PTP Gun, and we are going to host one heck of a barbecue here on the farm for one lucky winner off of our channel and one lucky winner off of his. Also, don't know if you guys know what this is. We're going to cover it in the next video. But I got something really cool in the mail that a fan of the channel sent to me. He's also the inventor of that right there. We'll get into what it is. But I thought that was really cool. Great story behind it. I can't wait to get into that one and actually tell you guys about it. All right, we're going to pick this project up in the morning. Eugene's going to come by and look at that, give me his thoughts and opinions on what he thinks we ought to do with this. And then we're going to get it all back together and hopefully get that thing on the trailer. Don't worry, the camera will likely be with me. We'll get it all on film. So anyway, thank you all for watching, and goodbye from Delmarva. Shorebilly Farmer, out. No.
Relax. I like do all these things.
All right, this conversation's going off the rails.
No,
All right.
you're going off the rails. I'm actually staying on track.
I love you, honey. She's got her mother's tenacity. I'll give her that. Woo, she'll wear you down.